Hello classmate and tutor, my name is Sugey Daza. In this video I'm going to talk about the design of teaching material. Let's start by remembering that materials could be videos, DVDs, emails, dictionaries, webpage, grammar book, among others. In other words, they can be anything which is deliberately used by teachers or learners to increase or facilitate the learning of language. Now I'm going to present to you what the material for language teaching should have. Material should achieve impact to novelty, variety, attractive presentation, and content, helping students feel comfortable. Most researchers say that students learn more and in less time when they are comfortable and relaxed, which helps them develop self-confidence and commit to learning. Additionally, materials should be perceived by students as relevant and useful, increasing the desire to learn, facilitating their self-investment through the use of resources that promote their own discoveries, encouraging them to use and reflect on language. Taking into account the different learning style of students, such as visual, auditory, kinesthetic, analytical, among others, allowing even a period of silence at the beginning of the instruction until the student have acquired understanding and confidence in the use of the target language. In order to explain the main on the questions proposal for principal approaches to the development of ELT materials, I will start by saying the material for teaching English must ensure that the student use the language effectively. The input message must be meaningful, easy, and positive access in such a way that allows the elaboration and deepening of the awareness and the development of hypotheses as a sample of the final domain of the second language. It is necessary to clarify that several principles must be taken into account so that the material fits the purpose outlined. So it must contain many spoken and written tests with a proposal that require the use of language in different scenarios and with a variety of genres that relate to its use and location of the significant environment of the learner and using an authentic language. The most significant contribution in relation to the act of educating a second language revolves around the principles given by Krashen on the acquisition and teaching of this have a special relevance at the time of designing the material that will be presented in the educational proposal, which it will point to a positive affective dimension where the student is motivated to maximize their exposure to the language in use. As Jane Arnold reaffirms by saying that thinking while experiencing that language in use helps achieve the deep processing required for effective learning and lasting and help students transfer high-level skills such as predicting, connecting, interpreting, and evaluating the use of a second language. The material must tend for activities that revolve around a task that can achieve an effective and cognitive commitment without falling back on the proposal to dictate the rhetoric of a specific topic of the language. The scenarios should encourage the student to think about what is being read or heard and respond personally to their emotions before, during, and after using the language of destination for communications. It is necessary to remember that apprentices who achieve a positive affective filter are more willing to acquire communicative competence. Therefore, tests and tasks must be interesting, relevant, and pleasant, that generate an experience that exert a positive influence on the attitudes of students towards the language and their learning process. The material should propose achievable challenges which reinforce self-esteem and stimulate emotional responses through the use of music, songs, literature, using controversial and provocative tests which encourage personalizations and where they can express their emotion before doing any analysis. These actions benefit the students because it stimulates the use of their mental resources, creating images that connect with their experiences, decoding and coding linguistic symbology to make predictions and interpretations. This multidimensional representation enrich the learning process by promoting the acquisition of the second language by the meaning it gives in the practical applicability. The message should allow annotations about the outstanding characteristic of the language in such a way that a real knowledge of the second language is generated, proposing a first experiential contact without consciously focusing the attention on any particular characteristic of the language. But each note can be consulted later and identify the characteristic of the language, making the student make discoveries for themselves from the context that they know and according to the proposed experience, reaching their communicative purposes, giving them the opportunity to produce an authentic language and not by the repetition of a libretto on a controlled stage. The material should also have contextualized exit activities that promote the development of the ability to communicate fluently, accurately, appropriately, and effectively. In general, the development of material for teaching English should be designed of the expectations, need, and desire of the student in such a way that it is a contextualized didactic resource that can be feedback and not a script that must be repeated by the teacher and the students in the same rigid and designed under an assumptions. That's all. Thank you.